Welcome once again for our mathematics lesson. We are still studying statistics, and I want to bring to you a lesson on mean absolute deviation. So I will first of all read a question, then from there we will proceed to solve it. The question says, calculate the mean absolute deviation. Calculate the mean absolute deviation for the following set of scores. For the following set of scores. For the following set of scores, then the scores are 1, 5, 11, 13, 15, 17, 20, and 22. So this is the set of data for which we are going to obtain the absolute mean deviation. Therefore, the first thing we obtain when we get such a data is determining its mean. Therefore, we will first of all get the mean score. Getting the mean. So the mean of 1, we had 5, 11, 13, 15, 17, 20, and 22. Then we divide by the total number of items. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 items. Divide by 8. The total should be 1 plus 5, which is 6. 6 plus 11, 17. 17 plus 13 is 30. 30 plus 15, 45. 45 plus 17 is 62. 62 plus 20, 82. 82 plus 22 is 102. So 82 plus 22 is 104, sorry. We divide by 8. So dividing by 8, this gives us a mean of 13. A mean of 13. Therefore, we obtain something called deviation. And deviation is when we take the item and we check how it has deviated from the mean. How an item has deviated from the mean. How an item has deviated from the mean. So in the first case, we have 1 and the mean is 13. So 1 has deviated from 13 by negative 12. 5 has deviated from 13 by negative 8. 11 has deviated from 13 by negative 2. 13 has deviated by 0. 15 has deviated from 13 by 2. Then 17 from 13 by 4. Then 20 from 13 by 7. And 22 from 13 by 9. It is good to notice that when we add all the deviations from the mean, they should give us 0. The positive deviations will cancel out the negative deviations, and total deviation will become 0. Therefore, we can't get the mean for such deviations because they are totaling to a 0. So, what we call the mean absolute deviation is now when we get absolute deviations. So, instead of the deviation, we obtain something we are calling absolute deviations, whereby we to take the deviation regardless of the sign behind. I just take the value. If, for example, the first item in the data was differing from the mean score by negative 12, we just obtain the 12 itself. That is what we call the absolute deviation. So, negative 12 is the deviation, 12 is the absolute deviation. So, we obtain the absolute value. So, this one becomes 8, this becomes 2, this is already 0, then the others are already positive. Are already positive. So now we can now get the mean absolute deviation, whereby the mean of the absolute deviations now is determined. So we will take 12, we add 8, we add 2, we add 2, add 4, 7, then we take the mean score. We take the mean score, whereby we are going to divide with 8 items. 8 items. So 12 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2 again plus 4 plus 7 plus 9. This gives us 44. Divide by 8. We will get 5.5. Therefore, 5.5 is the mean absolute deviation. So mean absolute deviation is taken by obtaining first of all the deviations from the mean score, and after getting deviations from the mean score, we get what we are calling absolute deviations by ignoring the sign behind each deviation. So these ones are positive, but now the next column we get to ignore the sign behind each deviation so that we may get absolute deviation. Then now the mean for the absolute deviations gives us mean absolute deviation. Thank you for following. Subscribe to Shifting Grades and share the link. Thank you.